are set to go with our next contest of the evening. 10 rounds of boxing scheduled for the vacant WBA Bantamweight Championship of the World. Now making her way to the stage, her professional record, a perfect one. 5 fights, 5 victories, 2 of them coming by way of knockout. She's the Australia National Boxing Federation Australasian Super Bantamweight Champion.
I'm going to pause right here. This is T-Street Controversy with FightView360.com with my old mate, Big J from Australia. Ebanie Bridges is an Australian. So we're going to let this weigh-in play through. Please allow us 15, 20 minutes of your time. Take your time out to please like the video, subscribe. During this fight, Shannon Courtenay versus Ebanie Bridges, we're going to be live on YouTube in real time with live highlights in between rounds, live scoring, live commentary, post-fight interviews, because in my personal opinion, even though this card is called Conor Benn versus Samuel Vargas, Shannon Courtenay versus Ebanie Bridges for the 118-pound bantamweight title is the fight of the day. This is T-Street Controversy with FightView360.com. Please watch the weigh-in, and we'll be back to talk to you soon.
Fighting out of New South Wales, Australia, please welcome Ebanie, the Blonde Bomber Bridges. Bridges. And her opponent now making her way to the stage. Her professional record, 6 victories, only 1 defeat. She has 3 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Watford, England, here is the baby-faced assassin, Shannon Courtenay. Courtenay. And now to the scale, ladies and gentlemen, here's the undefeated blonde bomber, Ebanie Bridges. 117, bang on for the blonde bomber. 117 pounds, bang on for Ebanie Bridges. And now to the scale, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Shannon, the baby-faced assassin, Courtenay. £117 and 14 ounces for Shannon Courtenay. 117.14.
Go. Come on, Ebanie. Really weigh in good. Come on, get that good weigh in. You can do it. Really step on that scale, Ebanie.
So, Big J, Shannon Briggs and Shannon Courtenay and Ebanie Bridges are facing off right now. Now we're
Shannon
here live.
Courtenay, Ebanie Bridges, 10 rounds for the vacant WBA Bantamweight Championship of the World.
They're facing off right now. Hold on 1 minute, Jay. 1 minute. Ebanie came out on the thong. Okay.
Oh, another question.
What do you expect?
Well, yeah, I mean, so let's talk about it. We are here live real time. It is, Lord knows, April the 9th, 9:07 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I've been covering a lot of boxing the last 30 hours or so, so forgive me if I'm a little off. We're going to be back at 11 a.m. Eastern, likely, to be honest with you, because I have some runs to do. I have to run into Philadelphia. likely noon Eastern for the Duran Boots Enos versus Sergey Lipinets weigh-in, and also later on today is going to be the Joe Smith versus Maxim Vaslov weigh-in. That's top ranked on ESPN. So tomorrow, April the 10th, 2021, is a very, very, very busy day in boxing, but I am going to be here. I am promising you that. Highlights for all of the major fights tomorrow. Post-fight interviews for all of the major fights tomorrow. And right now, to be perfectly 100% honest with you, this fight right here, Shannon Courtenay, 6-1 with 3 KOs. And I feel that the last fight that she lost against Rachel Ball, it wasn't her last fight, but the fight she lost against Rachel Ball was her fight to lose. She was overzealous. I am a fan. Now, it's controversial, but we wouldn't be T Street Controversy, which is what the channel's called, if I wasn't giving my full views on adulterated content. I do not believe that Shannon Courtenay is a bigot. I do not believe that she has hate in her heart for people who practice Islam, for African Americans, for anybody. However, in this day and age, her tweets from the past were off color and inappropriate. But do I believe that she... Okay, now, take your time out, like the video, subscribe. We're going to bring Big J in very soon. I'm going to say this. One tweet that she put up, it was about black men. And basically, YouTube, they're going to get kind of PO'd about this. I've already said it for years now. I'm kind of an expert when it comes to YouTube stuff. So I know what I can say and what I cannot say to be, you know, shadow banned or have my videos not monetized. But she said something about black men's penises. And everything, put it this way, what I'm going to say is this. These YouTube videos are sealed in time. Big J, give me a minute. We've only been live for 7 minutes. But they're sealed in time. They're always going to be here. And everything I'm getting from this woman, even though she said some horrible things, well, tweeted some horrible things in the cancel culture society about Islamics and about black men. But if you really, really, really look at it, do you really think she's a bigot? So I'm bringing this up because I noticed something, and I kind of figured it was going to happen, is that Sky Sports, the #1 sports or #1 news agency in the UK, from my understanding, especially when it comes to sports. So, for example, here in the States, we have ESPN. ESPN is #1. NBA, our major sports here in the States. Now, I'm going somewhere with this. I know I'm on a little bit of a rant, but follow me, guys. This is important. Here in the States, ESPN is #1. From my understanding, NFL is the #1 sport. MLB, Major League Baseball, #2. NBA, #3. ESPN, you watch ESPN before you watch anything else. Fox Sports, #2, CBS or whoever, they're all fighting for #3. In the UK, it's Sky Sports. So follow me. Sky Sports did not stream this weigh-in. Why do you think that is? #1, they didn't know what Ebanie Bridges was going to wear. #2, looking at the press conferences that Sky Sports streamed yesterday, Ebanie Bridges dropped, what was it, 2 F-bombs, I believed? I counted.
Yeah, 2 F-bombs. That's too many.
Yeah, for a national network. That's Sky.
Exactly.
So Big J, no, chime in anytime you want. Like, so my personal opinion is Sky Sports said, all right, we want to stream this, but it's too risky. Especially for their early morning time TV, you know? So with Ebanie Bridges with her, lingerie, she wore a thong today, with her swearing, and Shannon Courtenay's tweets, because Shannon Courtenay, and the reason why I'm sure to call her Shannon Courtenay, because she got that E there, so normally it'd be like Shannon Courtenay, but that E is fucking me up, so I'm trying to pronounce it, and I gotta stop cussing. So with that said, I'm thinking, all right, Sky Sports with her tweets. Now Shannon Courtenay, she's under a lot of heat right now. A lot of heat. A lot of fans want her to lose just because of her tweets. Now, we're not with the cancel culture bullshit, but let me stop talking. We're at 10 minutes, 40 seconds into the video, and we need to talk to my Australian colleague. So, remember, please, take your time out, like, and subscribe, because tomorrow, I'm guaranteeing you, we're going to be the #1 live commentary streamer for this fight. Why? Is because I've lost thousands over the years, making sure that we can bring you highlights in between each round, live fight scoring. We're going to be here. Jay, what's your thoughts? Let me tell you something. This is the fight of the day, and I am excited.
I couldn't agree more. It actually is. And to put it in Australian perspective, the #1 sports channel in Australia is Fox Sports. That's probably because, winner by default, because it's really the only sports channel in Australia that focuses on sports. Australia doesn't have as many things as the other countries do. But we also have 4 or 5 free-to-air channels.
So I noticed
Just
something.
like Sky
So
Sports.
let me stop you for 1 minute. Can you explain, because shout out to Ben Damon, before I continue, can you give his direct job title? So he is the managing director of boxing for Main Events Boxing in Australia, but also I guess what I'm asking you is, he's responsible for bringing the broadcast deals to Australia for these fights.
No, I don't believe so. I think someone else does that. He's just a voice. He's a commentator that works for Main Event.
Well, he's doing a hell of a good job.
He does an excellent job. He is the voice of Australian boxing.
He's no
Is
casual.
he the one in charge? Think about it?
He's no casual, meaning you can talk to him about any division in boxing, and you can actually, Australian boxing, let me tell you, they're coming up, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you. So go ahead, Jay. I'm not going to interrupt you.
He's a very knowledgeable commentator. Very, very knowledgeable commentator. And he knows exactly what he's doing. But back onto our subject, similar to free-to-air television that we have in Australia, with Ebanie, swearing like the way she was, there was no way that they would be.
Here's the undefeated blonde bomb.
Oh, my bad, baby. Hold on. I muted the volume. The weigh-in is playing in the background again while you're talking. Go ahead. Continue, please.
Yeah, so basically a free-to-air channel would not air that with Ebanie swearing during the middle of the day. Later at night, yeah, they would, but not during the middle of the day. So can't blame them for that.
So to stop
Then again,
to stop you a little bit, in my personal opinion, I think once she dropped that first curse word, even though she was dressed very elegantly, I like the white blazer, the white shirt. This is during a press conference.
Looking very nice.
I think she kind of fucked herself, because they was like, okay, all right, we can't risk this.
Well, yeah, as my grandmother taught me, the only thing worse than swearing around a lady is a lady swearing. So,
but on national television,
you've got a full vocabulary. Exactly. I mean, she's a math teacher. She's got a better vocabulary than that. I know. I spoke to her. She's very articulate.
She is.
You don't need to drop. I do comedy acts. I don't swear. I use the word penguin instead of fuck.
I do. I cuss a lot. I'm trying to work on it, but I'm listening.
Maybe we should use penguin instead.
Yeah.
I mean, it's off-putting because she's sitting there and she's beautiful and she's articulate, and then she's swearing worse than us are.
And she didn't say damn or ass. She said the F-bomb. It's like, oh, that's it. Cut it.
If you see the YouTube video, she drops a C-bomb as well. That's even worse.
Cunt? Ooh.
Yeah, I hate that word. And I'm a former Australian soldier.
Yeah.
No, I can't stand that word. You don't go using that word, and you don't swear in front of women. And I'm a hardcore Aussie. I'm friggin', but I still have manners. There's no need for foul language. But let's get back on topic to the fight. Can Ebanie win this thing? You say no. I say it's going to go for a draw.
But why do you? But you got to clarify, bro. Why do you say it goes? So remember, we have we're actually very good on time. We have 10 minutes left. So, but why though? Like, is it because of like? Do you think because of skill, or do you think like politics? Like, well, the rematch will bring bigger money.
Combination of both, but there's also one factor that's in the back of my head is that Australians' records overseas is abysmal. We do terribly overseas. I could name 5 people right now, 6 off the top of my head, who have actually won.
Go ahead. No, this is what we're here for. No, name them.
Lionel Rose versus Fighting Harunda in Japan. We all know this.
Okay.
Johnny Femishon won his featherweight title overseas somewhere. I'd have to look it up. In Germany, we've done extremely well in Germany. We're 3 for 3 in Germany. Daniel Giel, his 2 fights against, is it Sebastian Sylvester or Sebastian Sylvester? Whoever that. Yeah, Felix Sturm, and then Sam Solomon beat Felix Sturm. So we're 3 for 3 in Germany. Jeff Detman Harding won his WBC light heavyweight title against Dennis Andrews in 1989 in, I think, Atlantic City in New Jersey. Danny Green won his IBO title. It's sort of like a lesson. There was a Vega title against a guy who never fought cruiserweight. But yeah, I mean, the guys that you could count, the guys and girls that you, I don't think a female's ever won a world title outside of Australia. I could be wrong, but I don't think they ever have. But even like Jeff Horn went to America, got his ass kicked. The Maloney twins, what happened to them last year? Jason got knocked out, Andrew got screwed. He got beat up the first time. Daniel Lewis fought Sebastian Vendora, hasn't fought since. You know, the list of Darren Barker, who's a commentator on Sky Sports, he lost to Daniel Giel in 2014 over his IBF middleweight title in controversial circumstances. The list just goes on and on and on of Aussies that have gone overseas and just got destroyed. Blake Capolero against Sergey Kovalev, you know, dropped in the guts, round 2, bang, all over.
And Blake Capriello, for the American fans, remember Sergey Kovalev fought Blake Capriello on HBO. So all you have to do is do a quick Google or even YouTube search and you'll get the highlights of that fight. So you know this dude, and he just recently lost in a fight that he wasn't supposed to lose, where he was a very highly ranked WBA contender. So looking at right now, I pulled up the according to BoxRec. Now remember, BoxRec goes by a point system, but when you look at that bantamweight division, and this is the thing with women's boxing overall as a whole, we really don't know who's good and who's not good, and who's really running the divisions, because the sanctioning bodies will put a belt on the line because you're televised. They want the publicity. Now that's not wrong. But when it comes to the other women in the division who are not getting super high-profile TV deals, they're getting screwed over. So right now, as we do our closing arguments for the video, we have about 5 minutes left. Big J, can you please, I guess about 1 minute or 2 minutes each, talk about the #1 women boxers in Australia, especially around the weight division of Ebanie Bridges?
Well, that's easy because they're all around the same weight. The #1 boxer in the country is Susie Ramadan, 5-time three-division champion. She's still currently the WIBA.
Keep talking. I'm pulling her up right now and make sure everybody see her face.
115 champion.
Mm-hmm.
So she's won a WBF at Super Bantam, a WBF at IBC at Bantamweight, and just recently last year
28-3 with 12 KOs.
Yeah, the only time that she's lost is world title fights in Mexico. 2 of them were dodgy decisions. One she clearly lost.
And I don't believe it.
So she's #1. Now Diana Prozac, who just fought 2 weeks ago, you could argue that with her resume she would be #2. But she's been out of the game for a while, but we'll throw her in there anyway. I'm glad that she's back. WBC Super Featherweight champion. I'll just bring her up. She has competed for. She's fought names like Holly Holmes before she went to UFC, and Duffing. What's her name?
Pursoon.
She fought Taylor. Yeah, she fought her. So she
stopped
she's no
her
joke.
in 9 rounds. Mind you, ladies and gentlemen, I was at Katie Taylor, me and my colleague, 2 media credentials for Katie Taylor versus Delphine Pursoon, won in Madison Square Garden. So, very credible fighter. She is 14-3 with 9 KOs. And looking at her resume, great resume. Continue. I'm listening, Big J.
Yep, and then you've got to go Shannon O'Connell, who's just won the WBA Gold version, the fight that we covered on the Zarafa Mundine card, which I personally thought should have been on the Zoo Hogan card. That fight for the 2 girls deserved a lot better than being on that show. No discredit to the show, but I thought a bigger stage for two girls having a world title fight, that deserved to be on a pay-per-view undercard.
It did. Also,
21-6-1
with 10 KOs. And that, at the time, from what you know, that was considered an upset? Or was it like, one of those fights where it was like, I think Shannon's going to beat this young rookie?
It was 50. It was like probably 55-45 in Shanika's favour, but Shanika hadn't fought in a while, and Shannon was vastly more experienced and had 2 fights, where Shanika had been on the shelf for a while. So
and
it ended really in the,
to give you the particulars, it ended in a split decision.
Split decision.
97-93. 94-96 for Shanika, and 97-93 for Shannon.
Yeah, I had it 96-95. It was far closer than 97-93. I mean, Shannon won the fight, but she won it by a point that was far too... If it went a draw, no one would be upset. If it went either way, no one would be upset. It was a very, very close fight. Shanika's in the run. She'll be back. There's possible talk of a rematch between the 2 girls. So it all depends. If Ebanie wins on the weekend, I wouldn't be surprised if all those girls are going to go after Ebanie. Because, why wouldn't they?
The money. Like, Ebanie Bridges, what I like about her, she's been very vocal about, she knows what she's doing in regards to as risky. And it's controversial to say, but she's saying that sex sells.
And do you notice the way that she turns on? She turned on the scale.
Thank you for bringing it up. I'm rewinding back, and we're playing it right now, real time. So yes, thank you. So please explain this.
That is a traditional female bodybuilder pose. When the girls stand on stage together, because I used to be a bodybuilder. Yeah, hold the laughter. When the girls turn on stage, they turn their leg. They also have a habit of slapping it to make their muscles jiggle. That's a bodybuilder's pose, what she's doing there. She was a bodybuilder for 10 years. So this girl knows what she's doing to flaunt her body. She's an expert at it. Bodybuilders are obviously their job is to flaunt their body. They're extremely good at it. So they're extremely good at it. I mean, I still practice my posing now, and I haven't competed for 15 years. So, it's just something that gets ingrained in you, and it's just there. So she knows exactly what she's doing. The pose, the hold. Remember, she used to be a ring girl as well, when the ring girls used to wear bikinis back in the day. So she knows exactly what she's doing to promote herself. She is, she's doing all this on purpose. It's not... she's very strategic about what she's doing. But if we asked so many times, can she actually box?
But not only that, with all this selling of her, of using her body to market herself, can she convert them to watch the fight, not only to pay for her sweaty socks and underwear?
Yes, well, I did notice in the comments of the live stream, some clown wrote Vaseline and tissues ready. I'm like, what are you going to do? Put Vaseline on your face, punch you in the face and cry? I mean, what?
Yeah.
So I knew what he was on about, but it's like a lot of them will, but the casual fan, the problem is that if she loses this fight, all those casuals
it's going to be a hard fall because they're going to say, well, of course she was always only TNA. But listen, Big J, we got to go. We're at 24 minutes, 45 seconds. Keep this video within 25 minutes. So remember, we're going to be here tomorrow live streaming during the fight. So we're going to see everything in between rounds. So if this girl's not good, This is T Street Controversy and Big J with FightView360.com. Please subscribe.